In 1969, a group of astronauts changed the world. They walked on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In 1972, our journey ended. We've never been back. 2010 begins a year of change. Private companies are working on next-generation spaceships. Governments are looking to go back to the moon and on to Mars. It's time to look up and dream again. It's time to push humans into the cosmos. It's time to educate and engage the planet. It's time for Spacevidcast.
Spacevidcast 340 for Friday, December 31st, 2010. My name is Benjamin Higginbotham. With me, as always, is the beautiful, lovely, wonderful, talented, and incredibly peppy Carrie Ann Higginbotham. We'll be your Spacevidcasters this evening, and that is the last time you will ever see that open in a live show.
Oh, thank God.
You know, actually, little tidbit, if you guys did not know.
I hate that picture.
She hates that picture. She really does. She absolutely hates that picture. But there's a segment in there where the voice says, in 2010, something, something, something.
Yes.
Drives me bonkers. Every week I hear that. It's 2010. 2010. And I didn't put that in the script. I didn't say make sure to pronounce it 2010.
No, he just wrote,
I wrote 2010.
2010.
So yes, 2010 is how that should go. So we had Christmas last week, right? So as one of the gifts there is a wall of moon pies. You can't see.
Yeah, in case you can't tell.
So it goes up here, there's another row below it, and then there's actually a row below that you can't see, which is pretty awesome.
We have 3 rows of moon pies.
Pretty. Hopefully you guys got some pretty awesome space geekery type stuff. If not, return it in on Amazon.com. There is a 12-inch lunar globe that you can get. It's something that I have asked for 2 years, and now I'm just going to go buy it myself because no one ever gets it for me. But it's not expensive. It's like $50, so that's something that's going to be really cool. Yeah. I'm just saying. If that's what you got, if you got something from Amazon.
If I might say,
yes,
for a moment,
yeah,
it's impressive that we made it to show 40.
It is impressive that we made it to show 40.
I don't think we've ever had this many shows in a season.
No. The last year, season 2, the 200 was 38 shows, I believe. So 2 more this year.
Go us.
Yeah.
We were less sick this year, or our anniversary didn't land on one of the days.
So let's get started. Before you go into that, Kath, I'm going to do the Space News Open, although I have a feeling that now it's going to get all borked because you already have that in preview. But I'm going to do the Space News Open anyhow. Yes, but if you take it off your preview, because I'm watching in the screen, so take Space News out of preview. Yeah, you're going to go to black afterwards. You got to click on us again because it's... There you go. Now you can go to it. Space News. Space News. See? See? Look at that. Just like it. Oh!
So close! So close!
You know what? Here's my Season 4, we will fix that and make it so we can actually get to the Space News Open.
No, we won't.
No, we probably won't. All right. First off, you guys may have heard, but because of the fantastic political system here in the United States, NASA will be spending another $1.5 billion on Ares development. What's Ares again? Do you remember?
It was that new deodorant from NASA, right?
Yeah, it's that canceled rocket. So a additional, $165 million will be going to ATK, which is about...
Alliant Tech Systems.
Yep.
Which I did not know.
Oh, there you go. They make the 5-second solid rocket booster. Now, my hope is that just because Ares in constellation as a whole, just because Ares is canceled, doesn't necessarily mean that we can't use the 5-segment SRB technology that ATK has developed. Having said that, we don't know what the next...
chances of that are...
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun way to, that going into 2011, your tax dollar is hard at work right there. Yep.
Great.
That's not NASA's fault, by the way.
No,
That's
it's totally not.
that's
That
not-
was Congress.
Congress? That is Congress's fault.
Congress's.
On that note, let's take a peek at India recently had a launch of their GSLV, and we haven't shown that yet. So
Right.
let's go ahead and show
Fascinating.
the GSLV launch. Here you go.
3, 2,
So L40s have been
0,
ignited
+1,
and
+2,
it's a liftoff of the S139 stage. A very majestic liftoff from the second launch pad.
Plus 10 seconds.
Kath, at this point, why don't you go ahead and just drop that chat link for me?
रॉकेट काफी गड़गड़ाहट के साथ इस समय जो है अपने
Something
गंतव्य की
interesting
ओर
may happen at the bottom of this.
and L40's performance normal.
So we just now heard the announcement. L40s and S139 stage is performing nominally.
Going through the clouds.
Yeah.
Merry
The vehicle
Christmas
piercing
in the
through the
corner.
clouds.
It's pretty
इस
awesome.
समय रॉकेट जो है 250 मीटर ऊपर पहुंच चुका है
Their camera
और
guy.
यहाँ हमको
Nothing can go wrong
शुरू
at this
करने के
point.
बाद भी काफी तेजी से गड़गड़ाहट की आवाज सुनाई पड़ रही है.
So we are at 47 seconds after
Plus 50
liftoff.
seconds.
The first event that we
Oh,
look
it's
forward
great.
now
It
is
looks like it's what's going on there.
सबसे पहले हमको ये
Where's it
देखना
going?
होगा कि
What's
ये
going? Hey,
Big.
hey, now.
Wait, no, watch this,
Whoa!
watch this, watch
Cut
this.
away.
I love this.
Yes.
Here's that line going up, that's where it's supposed to go.
be.
And that little blue dot, that little dot is where it's
That's
going.
It is.
So, all right, go ahead and there's that image I'd like to go to. Check this out. I want to show you guys what happened here. So
Yeah.
the GSLV in the middle, that inside there's a solid rocket motor in the
Yep.
middle of this.
Yep.
The solid rocket motor did fine. What happened is you see on either side there are those booster engines, and the engines that sit on the bottom, those steer the vehicle.
Okay.
One of the, not nominal performance. One of the engines was not responding to commuter commands, and what happened is it started to get off course. Now,
Right.
what I had heard is that they terminated the launch because they basically had lost control of the vehicle.
Right.
But I had also heard from other people that they didn't terminate the launch, but what had happened is because it started to veer too far at a certain angle, the stresses on the vehicle basically, it shattered itself to pieces. I'm not sure which. I thought it looked more, less like a termination system and more like it kind of shook itself apart.
Yeah.
But really kind of hard to tell. Just
Yeah, I mean,
just
I'm not
saying.
gonna. I can't judge. It's not like I've made one. So.
Yeah, Eeyore says you could see the upper stage come off. I didn't actually see that, but it was
Really?
kind of cloudy and I'm really far away from the monitor. But yeah, so there you go. SpaceX makes it look a lot easier than it really is, don't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's sad that people like companies like SpaceX, when they do something and it's correct and it's good and it's fine, everyone's like, because they don't realize how difficult it really is. It almost takes something like this, sadly. I mean, thankfully, I'd never heard of anybody got hurt in this particular.
No.
So that's
Satellite only.
right. So I mean, that's good. It sucks because it's still a lot of money. But it's it takes something like that for you to go, oh, maybe they do know what they're doing.
As Quantum G said, it's all nominal at SpaceX.
It's-
but and I use space as an example. I could have just as easily said NASA or whomever, right? So there you go. That's just fun, right? I feel like I shouldn't admit it because space geeks are supposed to root for the vehicle. Yay, go! Let's make it into space. But all of us, I know a little bit. We're kind of like bada boom, big bada boom, right?
I'm not.
I am bada boom. Yeah. Unfortunately, that was the second vehicle that they have lost in a row.
ISRO's not doing so good this year.
Oopsie doopers.
Oh well.
So now,
Which is funny because isn't Ariane like 6 for 6 this year?
they just had, and I don't have video of their launch either. I totally should.
sorry.
That's all right. But they just had an Ariane 5 launch. That was the 199th launch. The last launch of the years is that Ariane 5, which is also why there's no more calendar down here. But yeah. So they're doing fantastically well over there. But don't. Again, their new vehicle, the Vega, ask them about that.
Yeah, no, I know. I
Anyhow.
know.
Anyhow, it's rocket science, right? It's hard.
It
It's
is.
not easy to do. Rocket science is not easy. ish.
Thankfully, it's not.
So
Rocket
speaking of
surgery.
things that are having fun
Yes.
and exploding or
Yes.
unexploding, how's this for a turn of events?
Unexploding?
Galaxy 15. We did a story on this quite a while ago, a few months ago.
Oh, this was your favorite,
It
wasn't
was. It was a zombie sat, and I was all like, brains, brains. Because what happened was the satellite basically got knocked out of control and was no longer accepting commands from the ground and was sliding into the orbital space of these other satellites, but it was still broadcasting.
Right.
And they couldn't shut it down, so it was
Right.
interfering with these other satellites. They had to do these, maneuvers to move the other satellites out of the way.
Because there's a lot of space junk up there.
Yeah, no, they just had to move it so that we
Well,
could
yeah,
still.
but I mean, you can't just be like, we're just going to move you here. Well, we can't move you here because this guy's coming this way. So you need to go this way.
No. What it has to do with is they need to make sure that they stay within their broadcast window so that you can still receive the signal.
Right? But they can't intersect. Like,
yeah, they can't hit. So all they had to do is, make sure that they kind of, just slide around each other. Anyhow, on December 23rd, it lost power, which
Yes.
was an anticipated. They expected it to lose power.
Right.
But then it rebooted. It came back online, and they have control of it again.
nice.
Yes, they had a full system reset, which just goes to prove in IT, you have to power it off and power it back on again. 99% of the time, that will fix your problem. It applies even to satellites. So they powered it off, powered it back on again. They have control of it. They put it into safe mode. And yeah, they're going to do some additional testing, but how neat is that?
And it's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat. So yeah, good news, good
neat.
Christmas news, pre-Christmas
Yay,
news.
there
For
you
the zombie
go.
sat has been, you can de-zombify a satellite, I guess is what it really comes out down
There
to.
you go. Yeah, and that's what everybody needs to know.
Other cool stuff. Check this out. This is on JPL's website. When you're looking at the sun and something was like, oh, I don't know. When you're looking at the sun in the sky, it looks very orange, and part of the reason,
Yes.
and the sky looks very blue, and part of the reason for that is when the light hits our atmosphere, the red wavelengths make it through just fine, but blue tends to scatter outward, and so when blue scatters outward, it makes the sun appear very orange, and it makes the sky appear very, very blue. Well, on Mars, you would expect the sun to be red as well. However, the wavelengths that it scatters looks very, very different. Check it out. This is what a Mars sunset looks like. Very cool. It's very, very blue. And that's because in Mars, the red is absorbed and the blue is not. So the blue makes it through, so you end up with a blue sunrise and sunset. How pretty is that? That came from JPL. So if you go to jpl.nasa.gov, you can actually blame it on Ben. You can actually see.
I like how somehow that magically gets through.
Well, I'm trying to spot check
I
the
know,
chat
I
room.
understand.
Yeah. So, yeah. How it's pretty cool.
How neat is that?
How neat is that?
It's pretty neat. She's a beaut.
She's a beaut. I just thought it was really pretty. I thought it was
Yes.
really cool. And we had a conversation with, I don't remember who it was or where it was or when it was, but someone from NASA, and they're probably going to yell at me when they like, I had that conversation with you, about what would happen when you go to Mars, and as a human, you step foot on the surface of Mars, and you've got your visor on, and everything's red. What will you perceive it as? Because if you take a camera and you white balance on red, it's going to look very Earth-like. So will the human brain then kind of just eliminate the red and make it look more Earth-like? Will the sky turn blue in your mind?
That's what we
Or-
need to do. We need to only send colorblind people to Mars first.
Well, no, that's the other thing. Apparently, if you get induced in color like that for an extended period of time, your brain will just switch it to black and white. It just will, bink, you'll go to black and white, and off you go.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Well, the luminosity is the most important part of the picture for a camera or the human eye. So, black and white's that's why we need to send humans to. That's the number one reason to send humans to Mars, so we know what color it is. What color does the human brain perceive Mars to be?
Can we send one guy, one regular color-seeing guy, and one color-blind guy at the same time, and be like, quick!
What color is it? Everyone would be like, I don't know. So yeah.
Oh.
And the last part of my news item, which isn't news, and we're just going to talk about stuff because we can.
Right.
And it's the end of the year, and we're just going to gossip for a while. It's going to be fun. is check out this footage I found. It's on YouTube. This is old stuff, but it's kind of cool.
This is cool.
It's a shuttle taking off under its own power horizontally. Here you go. Look at that. That's not landing.
Looks like it's landing.
Yep, and that's obviously not in reverse, so it's no one cheating. It's taking off, and that is a shuttle designed for space.
Looks
And
tiny, doesn't it? It looks
does. And there the gear goes up.
like an incorrect airplane.
Yep. So obviously that's not an American shuttle. That's the Russian Buran shuttle.
Yes.
But still very cool. In many regards, that particular orbiter was, superior to ours, except that it never sent humans to space. But look, the business end of that vehicle just looks pretty mean, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it could take off and it could circle around and re-land if it needed to.
So cool.
I just thought that was pretty neat.
You have to stop saying that. Like you really, really do.
Yeah. All right. So
Really
yeah,
do.
that's all I had. The rest of the show's up to you. Ready to go.
Jenny, that picture is gorgeous, by the way. I love all of your pictures, really, but that.
Oh, the one that was in the chat room earlier?
Yep.
Yeah, so scroll back on the timeline.
Yep, the white sunrise. It's beautiful.
I figured for the rest of the show, we talk a little bit about 2011, a little bit about what we're going to do, and some of the space community type stuff. Debated. This is going to be a
Whose
little
zombie set was it?
bit. I thought this was an Orbital Sciences zombie set.
Oh.
I don't have the notes in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it was an Orbital Sciences zombie set.
Okay. Just curious.
Bring back the blue lights. Trebles is complaining because we used to have blue lights that lit up the background here.
Treble's complaining because that's pretty much what Treble does.
That is exactly what Trebles does. So, a couple of things that I'm thinking about doing, and I would love your feedback. And certainly email me, benjamin@spacevidcast.com, or post on Facebook, whatever you want to do. One thing I have been against for a long time is a community forum, a place where you guys can go and actually have a text-based forum and enter stuff in. And if you can't get a large enough community to run the forum, it's kind of pointless. They kind of self-implode, and they take away from the brand, frankly. No, it's not a beer, it's a Coke. Coke in a bottle. It's delicious.
Merry Christmas.
I'm thinking the season 4 stuff, so 400 series, it might be time for us to introduce forums to the website. And I'd love to know how many of you would actively participate, which means you post at least once a day in the forum. And I have a minimum threshold that I have to have of people that would be willing to post. And if, so Quantum G says, forums kind of suck, and they do, right? But they do have their place as well. So I'm considering it. I'm not saying we're going to do it.
I love the maybe, yes, absolutely, probably, hell no.
Nope. Right. That's the problem, right? A lot of people would be like, no, what's the point? Why even do that? And the advocates for it are very vocal, and the other people are like, whatever, no, I'm not going to do that. But you can't just have a group of 5 or 6 people constantly talking in a forum. You need to have a group of passionate, intelligent people able to self-moderate and moderate. You need to have a good community there.
Right.
I'm not sure we're big enough for that yet, frankly, but we're starting to get close. So there you go. So that's That's thought number 1. I'm also thinking about moving IRC into our own servers, where you would run irc.spacevidcast.com. You'd register with us. We would have a version on the Ustream site as well, so you can still go to ustream.tv, still log into IRC. But the idea being, when we get 50, 60, 80,000 viewers, we wouldn't have net splits and other issues that Ustream doesn't really handle very well.
Right.
So when we have rocket shuttle launches, everyone would be able to communicate, and we'd be able to control the room a little bit better. Do things like install CHAN services. I know.
What?
So exactly. So that's another concept. Again, haven't made up my mind on that. It's just something that I'm throwing around. And of course, new open, new graphics, all that fun jazz type stuff. So that's a little bit about what we're thinking about for doing for the season 4 stuff. Okay, ready? What?
What?
You're just smiling at me.
I like you.
No.
Hi.
Hi. So, yeah, we're not doing 4chan. So yeah, that's what we've got planned. You got anything to add?
Treble wants 2 live shows a week.
Well, that would be awesome, right? Being able to do more community involvement type stuff because space is fun. Space is geeky. We've got all this together, right? We like getting together and having fun and doing this stuff and being able to do this on 2 different days at 2 completely different time slots. Because this works for a lot of people in the U.S., but if you're in Europe, these time slots don't work so well for you. So, maybe doing something at like, I don't know, 11 a.m., I don't know, 11 a.m. Universal Time might work better for someone. But
we could have a morning show?
Yeah, morning
We
show.
could have coffee at the coffee shop?
Wake up with Spacevidcast. We could have,
awesome would that be?
we could have the really cheesy show opens with like the big suns that kind of go by.
Oh, sad Quantum.
What'd Quantum say?
Quantum says 2 live shows, but 1 with Ben and 1 with Carrie Ann.
One would get ratings and one would not.
Sad.
Yeah, well,
That's
I'm not the one
true.
that would get ratings.
That's
It's all
not
you.
true. That's
Yep.
not true.
That would be really cool. The problem is we just simply don't have the resources for that. So I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
I wish Spacevidcast could pay my salary.
Yeah, no
that
kidding.
Would be
But yeah, that would be fun. I don't foresee that happening. Ever. I guess ever is really strong, but not in the foreseeable future. Certainly not for season 4.
right.
We'll continue on the space pods. I think those have been wildly successful, so we'll expand on those a little bit more. I think we've got kind of a good formula for those finally, so that's where we'll go with that.
3 of those a week or 4?
I'd like to actually extend that to 5 per week with 1 live show. We're going to have to work into that, though. That's not something I don't know if you guys know this, but each space pod takes between 6 and 8 hours to produce from the moment I start writing it to the moment I'm done uploading and sending it on YouTube and all the distribution websites. A lot of that goes into compression time, but it takes a scary amount of time. I do have a full-time job as well, so I'll work 8 to 10 hours per day there, then come home and work another 6 to 8 hours on the space pods.
Right.
That's a lot of stuff, and then there's the prep work for the live shows. So doing that 5 days a week is just a bit much. It's just very hard.
Rough.
It is.
It's rough to
It's very,
say.
very hard. So
No, that does not include dinner time. Ben will actually just simply not eat. Actually, he came home tonight to pick me up in order to he literally came home, picked me up, we went out, and he said, do you mind if we stop to get something to eat? So I was driving, which I normally do, so that he can eat on the way in. It's really bad. It's really bad. Season 4 is Ben and Carrie Ann's baby. So don't even for a moment mistake that in the slightest.
to Wicked, yeah, maybe. The idea being do breaking space pods for accidents and huge news. The thing is, we're a video site, and it takes a lot longer to produce a video than it does to shoot a quick little thing of text up on a website. So maybe what we'll do is expand the articles section of the website and give you more text to peruse in addition to just the videos and podcasts and whatnot. And that's one thing we do want to increase are the podcasts and all of the different content, available ways that you can consume the content for
Right.
season 4.
Somebody mentioned having it basically be a Spacevidcast channel instead of a NASA TV channel.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're looking at. It's a technical problem. It's not a content problem, although it's a little bit of both. The technical problem is if we turn it into an on-demand playback channel, I can only make it an on-demand playback channel, which means when live Ariane space coverage comes up of a launch, and you guys want to see that live launch, I would be unable to cut to that with audio, unless I drove up to the coffee shop to literally move a lever up for lever? Really?
That's
I
pretty much
said
what it is.
lever. It's more of a slider.
Slider,
I'd have
I
to.
suppose.
There are physical buttons I have to press to make the audio work, and that's how our current setup is.
So there's an hour and a half drive
Yep.
to do this.
Yep.
Yay!
That's not going to happen. Yeah. So yeah, that's lever. That's what we're working on. If we can figure out how to automate and route some of the audio through the computer, that will help a lot. But yeah.
An audio bot?
Any
Everyone
others?
thinks that you should just have a robot.
Is there any other stuff the community would like to see? Because this is a community-based show, right? I mean, we do this for you guys, and it's about getting people excited about space and the whole thing. So it's all about what you guys want to see us do in the new year for season 4. New open, new graphics, new credits. I'm tempted with the idea of doing your space weather update and doing like just a hardcore cheesy terrible green screen where we get up and be like, you can see the solar winds are moving towards the Earth. It just, right, exactly as cheesy as you think it would be. I thought it'd be fun, right? But actual solar weather, like real, what's actually going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of interesting. Did you want to do anything with that now? Or do you want to do that later?
This?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. How do you want to give it away?
I don't know.
I don't know. Pick something.
I'm terrible at that.
Who wants it? Roku box.
There you go.
Dear Lord. Well, I think DJ Flex was the first person to say me.
Wow.
Wow, you all, is that why you all watch? You don't watch for the show anymore. You watch to see if you can win the Roku box. I believe DJ Flex was the first person to say me, so I'm gonna have to go with DJ Flex.
All right. Flux, I don't know that I have your physical address, so you'll have to email me if that's all right.
Oh, Colton, we'll take care of you. You know that. So yeah, and then
Colton, who gave you her computer?
Exactly.
Colton.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Are we giving away moon pies too?
Nope.
No?
They're
just
on
there
the
for
set.
decoration.
No, these moon pies. Do you want to tell the story of where the moon pies came from? For those who don't know moon pie?
Oh, you want like the history of the moon pie?
Sure, absolutely. There might be some people who have no idea why we have moon pies sitting on our desk.
Well, I'm sure there's somebody else in the chat room who knows better than me, but we'll pretend for a moment. I believe it goes back to the days of the miners, people who mined, not people who are underage.
Oh, no, I meant why we're doing them on the show.
Oh. Well, that's why I asked you if you wanted the history of the moon pie.
No, just why we're doing
The
them on
reason
the
that we're doing them on the show is because some of our good friends, one who still works at the X Prize Foundation and one who used to work at the X Prize Foundation, had a meeting at Google proper and had some ice cream sandwiches and decided to have an ice cream sandwich eating contest. Of course, one won and the other one lost terribly and did a terrible, terrible dunking of said ice cream wrapper in the hoop that was nearby, but we won't name names on that account. And so somewhere along the line, Quarkspin decided to send some moon pies to the X Prize Foundation for a second challenge, which the boys very so nicely took up and broadcast.
Immediately regretted.
Yes, yeah, broadcasted out to the world. I think I got to be timer on that one, if I remember correctly. And of course, the other counterpart won. So since then, we've decided to pick up the challenge because as soon as they took a bite, they were like, "This was a terrible idea." And we were like, "What are you talking about? That seems like it would be super, super easy." Never having had a moon pie before, of course. So then at the very first Space Up, we decided to have a little bit of a moon pie eating contest with a whole mess of us, and also immediately regretted that decision as well. Yeah, so that's the word moon is in moon pies. Why not have an eating contest? Everyone loves those, and getting anyone and everyone in the world to have one of these is a personal goal of mine.
So these are reserved for the upcoming Space Up Houston. I think that'll be the next time. Space Up Houston, and certainly the launch of STS-133, which is currently slated for early February.
And no worries about them getting stale.
No, these will last till the end of time.
Yeah, and they are chocolate flavored. So for those of you who are at Space Up DC and had the unfortunate experience of getting some banana flavored variations, that won't ever happen again.
BZ brought up and has been, mentioned in the show a couple times now, the ability for you guys to call in and have a viewer call-in show. Probably not every week, but maybe certainly once a month. I don't think that's a bad idea. We'll work on figuring out the tech for that. Actually, I think we've already got the tech figured out for that. We just haven't done it yet.
Quite possibly, yes.
Yeah, I think a call-in show would be fun. The difficult part is we are a video show, and I like people to call in via video. So you need to have a webcam and your audio set up and working, which means you'll need to be pre-staged before you're sent to us. But we have all the tech to set that up and make that go. No, Skype does not work. I can tell you that right now. So yeah, we'll probably.
But I was told I could buy Skype for $20.
Yeah. Oh, we'll work on that for early season 4 type stuff. I think that will be fun, and your ability to kind of come in and give your 2 cents, because we're not just space news and boring blah blah blah.
Anyone but quantum.
Well, yeah, no quantum. I mean, seriously, quantum.
Who I've met in person and adore in every way, shape, and form.
And we'll talk in post show about why any of the traditional video conferencing apps that you guys are mentioning, Skype, FaceTime, heck, there's Sight Speed, all those fun.
Yeah.
They just simply won't work for a call-in show type scenario. They work great for a one-to-one call, but when you're trying to do one into live actual show, they just don't work. And I can tell you. We can go into that in post show a little bit. So yeah, that's a little bit about what we got planned for 2011. I think 2011 is going to be an awesome year for the space industry as a whole. We're going to see, I think, the final demonstrations from SpaceX for the COTS program. So they'll start hopefully delivering cargo to the International Space Station, the first private company to be able to do that. I think we're going to start seeing some tests from Virgin Galactic of engine firings for Spaceship Two, actual bring a test vehicle into orbit or suborbit. Suborbit. Sorry.
I expect to see a lot from people like Maston and Armadillo, that kind of thing.
Maston's a little bit of a slacker.
Well, he is, because he likes to build Lego shuttles.
Just saying.
And spend Christmas with the family.
How dare
which
he?
I don't understand.
Instead
at
of
all.
building rockets, what is he thinking?
Slacker.
Yeah, and actually, Zigger's saying Bigelow's already up there now. I was on some website commenting somewhere, I don't know, it's on my Facebook feed somewhere, about what 2011 is going to look like. I almost said 2011. What 2011 is going to look like, and someone had asked, is manned exploration of the stars dead now that Constellation's dead? And I said, no. It's just beginning, because we've already got some Bigelow test articles orbiting the Earth today. We've already got SpaceX with a potential crew capsule, right? Right now it's cargo only, but it could be crew capsule that could take a lunar re-entry into Earth, or even a Martian re-entry into Earth based on the heat shield that it's got. They way over-designed that. There's got to be a reason for that. You combine some of those technologies, get up to the Bigelow station, take Bigelow to lunar. It could be that instead of a government going back to the moon next, it's a combination of a series of companies like SpaceX, Bigelow, maybe even something like Virgin. Maybe they're in there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, and as Eeyore said, there's a stripped down Orion. Yeah, I mean, there's some really great stuff that could happen in 2011.
GLXP? Anyone?
Asking to make launches more of a live event. Once again, everyone, remember, I do have a full-time job that pays for everything. So if the launch happens off hours, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But even then, we still have to produce these space pods. So out of the 24 hours in a day, I'm working 16 to 18 of them every single day, every day, and that doesn't leave a whole lot of time for food and sleep. So I'm not saying no, but
I am high maintenance.
Yes, and she doesn't do any of it. So it's all right here. So if I run out of time, This is
the only part I do.
Yep. So it is. So yeah. I mean, it's a timing thing, right? If we can figure out how to do the timing, we'll make it go. But you do drive. You do drive here.
I drive here. That's all I do. Yeah. So anyway.
We're just a casual show.
All right, good. Anyway, so
should we just roll credits and then go into post show?
Might as well, right? Yeah. At this point.
Oh yeah, I
probably.
think yeah. We're pretty much. Should we just skip credits and just do the rest of the show as is, and then just call it?
No, because I really think we need to do the separation into post show.
Why?
Because it might get a little after dark.
All right. So season 4 of Spacevidcast will start late January.
Yes.
We need some time to finish prepping some materials. It will not be happening in the first week of January, probably not even in the second week, of January. Late January. Follow our website. We'll give you more information as to when the next live show will be coming on. Follow our Twitter account. We'll be giving you more information as to when we'll be coming back with episode 401 right here on spacevidcast.com. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next year.
It's time for In 1969, the astronauts changed. On the moon. In 1972, our journey. We've never.